Welcome to the Preliminary Cost Estimating Tool training series. In this segment, we'll be taking a look at the traffic signals section. Okay, so let's take a look at the traffic signals section by changing our drop-down to yes and letting that open up. So you'll see here the traffic signal section is pretty straightforward. Intersection name, you can put any intersection name. For this, I'm just going to scroll up here. We'll just call it the intersection of NY 123 and Main Street. NY 123 and Main Street. And you don't have to use the actual road names you have if you just want to call it, intersection 1, intersection 2. That doesn't matter. It's not used in any sort of calculation, so whatever you want to put in there is fine. Type of work, we have 4 options. We have full replacement, detection only, PEDs only, and detection and PEDs. If you're doing a new signal, you'd want to use the full replacement here. Let's go ahead and select that. The difference between a new signal and a replacement signal will be this drop down here. So if there's an existing signal and you're replacing it, you put yes here. Otherwise, you can put no. For this example, we'll say yes. Another input here is number of approaches. So if we have a 4-way intersection, we're going to put a number 4 in there. Number of crosswalks, same thing. We'll say we have a crosswalk across each approach. Number of signal poles, we'll put 2. And number of lanes total intersections. So if you hover over this here, you'll see a note here. It says only include lanes approaching the intersection. Departure lanes shall not be included. So we'll just say each leg of this intersection has 2 lanes coming up to it, for a total of 8 lanes that are approaching the intersection. Now the difference in the types of work, we'll just exclude certain items for this. So if we put detection only in, for example, you still have the same inputs. It'll just utilize them differently, just as an example. We also have user-defined non-itemized costs. If there's a particular scope of work that is not included that you would like to, we can add that in. So I'll put in additional scope and we'll say 25,000, and that will get added to the traffic signals total below here. So you can see that was pretty quick to come up with a signal estimate for an intersection. So let's go take a look at the traffic signals worksheet. And we can see all of the item numbers and quantities that were generated from the cover sheet. These quantities are based on an analysis of a wide range of projects, based on number of poles, crosswalks, approaches, and lanes. If you would want to override anything, you can come down to user-defined intersections here, and let's put in, you'll see as soon as we put something in here, it gets rid of the quantities above and lets the user put in their own information here. And this allows you to override your item numbers using this row here. You can override quantities using this row here for each of the segments of work. Similar for the pedestrian signals and detection sections here. I'm going to go ahead and remove those now. To show you below here, we have the additional items section for user-defined items and quantities. So if you wanted to add another section of work here, you can certainly go ahead and do that. So we can add in an item number here. We'll use 20302 as an example. We can put, just say 50 cubic yards. And then you can put a note there if you want. Excavation. For an example, plus an X, plus will add one, the X will remove it. I don't think I went over that. The same thing applies for the user-defined intersections here, as well as on the data entry tab. You can hit the plus and the X here to add and remove signals or lump sum costs. You'll also notice that since we've made modifications in the worksheet, we have this little warning here to let you know there's an input present in the worksheet, which means it may be overriding something that you have input here. So you always want to check and make sure that everything's set up properly if you have that warning. And that concludes the traffic signal section segment of the Preliminary Cost Estimating Tool training series. For additional Preliminary Cost Estimating Tool training, be sure to check out our other videos. Thanks for watching.